All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Washington Commanders in tonight's video, but I actually want to start this video about Brandon Aiyuk because I'm 99.9% convinced he will be traded extremely soon. And just considering that today he posted another TikTok, another social media post, and it was Jaden Daniels' film, I guarantee you he will be traded from San Francisco relatively soon. But what I don't know for sure is if Washington's going to be the team that trades for him. Folks, you don't deny rumors, and that's exactly what San Francisco's front office is doing, which is enough for me to convince me that Brandon Aiyuk is no longer a member of San Francisco, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 1 month, whether it's the trade deadline, at most 1 year. But I think if that offer is on the table, if you can get away with a 2025 second round pick, a 2026 third round pick for Brandon Aiyuk, a top 10 wide receiver that nobody really gives much praise to, you do that in a freaking heartbeat. But I'm going to explain to you why I think Jaden Daniels and Brandon Aiyuk are, you get the point. It's late on Sunday. Hit the like button, hit the sub button for daily NFL content. I post as many Commanders videos as I possibly can. This one's going to be a little bit out of the box, so try and bear with me here. But if we could try to get this video to 250 likes, I would really appreciate it. We can't talk right now, but once again, bear with me. I don't know why we're even talking about this because it's just hearsay, but it is the dead point of the offseason. Back in the day, former president Lyndon B. Johnson, he was in a congressional race and he hit his opponent with a rumor that he was a pig effer. And I would love to say that word, but it's kind of YouTube's guidelines. You'd never really know. His campaign manager was like, you shouldn't do that because you know he doesn't F pigs. Lyndon Johnson said, I know, I just want to make him deny it. When you get somebody to openly deny an accusation, it's like 90% of an admission to it. All right. Think about it in your own life. When something you know is not true, you really don't deny it. You don't say anything. You literally just move on. So when you deny an accusation like that, it kind of signals to the public that you're in denial. We caught you. And yeah, like literally think about it in your life. I can't believe I'm about to do this. If you're a dude, most of the people who watch this channel are dudes. If a dude, one of your bros, if one of your bros or your buddies, good friend calls you the G word and it rhymes with hey bro, you're not like denying it. Dude, what the F are you talking about? Why would you ever say something like that? Like, show me proof. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't just deny it for freaking the rest of your life, which is what feels like San Francisco is doing with Brandon Aiyuk right now. They keep saying he's a 49er. Then freaking pay him. Then pay the dude. Anyways, there's a little bit of a tangent. It's Sunday night here, folks. San Francisco is gonna have to trade some pieces here. And a dude like Brandon Aiyuk across the league is so unbelievably underrated. He's coming off like a 1,400 receiving yard season. This dude is so good. He averaged 18 yards per catch, almost 10 total touchdowns. And it's not even just a Brock Purdy thing. This is just Brandon Aiyuk. Folks, if you don't know it by now, you'll know by the end of the season. He's a top 10 wide receiver in the National Football League. And my point is kind of similar to what Houston did last season. I look at the wide receiver room and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you have Scary Terry, and Scary's contract's going to be up relatively soon, but he's honestly never really had a consistent, reliable quarterback. So I don't think any Commanders fan out there wants to trade Scary Terry. And then you have Jahan Dotson, and Jahan's really interesting because he's been in the league, but he's dealt with drop issues. But once again, he's never really had a reliable, solid, consistent quarterback. And then they just drafted Luke McCaffrey out of Rice, which I'm very excited about. We'll talk about him towards the end of the video here. But folks, what Houston did this season kind of reminds me a little bit of, obviously like Commanders this year remind you of Houston 1 year ago, right? You have this really good quarterback drafted number 2 overall. You revamped your offense, you revamped your defense, you revamped your coaching, you revamped your management. It's very eerie of what Houston did last season. But what Houston did this season is they saw what happened last year with CJ Stroud, and they're like, all right, yeah, we got our guy, and we actually have a really solid team. So they're going all in. and they traded for Stephon Diggs. But we know Brandon Aiyuk and Jaden Daniels have a familiar bond. We know they have a connection. We know these dudes are like practically best friends. So I just think if you have the ability to get a top 10 wide receiver for a second and third round draft pick, not even in the same class, even if we haven't seen a snap of Jaden Daniels, that's a move a baller GM would make. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I guarantee you Brandon Aiyuk is not going to remain a San Francisco 49er for much longer. And like I said, if you're able to do a 2025 second round pick and a 2026 third round pick, like I don't know why Washington wouldn't make a move like that. I get it. You want to see a little bit of Jaden Daniels. It's not so much that like I'm nervous about the wide receiver room. I 100% believe that they need a more solidified veteran in that room because what happens if somebody gets injured? What happens if Terry McLaurin's injured for a month? I got to run it with Jahan Dotson and Luke McCaffrey. I'm a little uncomfortable there. I don't know how much consistency. Luke's literally never played an NFL snap. Jahan's been the definition of inconsistent. So I'm not trying to rag on the wide receiver room here. And dudes like Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz and Ben are going to help you out a lot. But I at least want a veteran wide receiver to come on over to Washington. Now, speaking of Washington, I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a huge impact early on. I was just reading a Commanders article, and they were betting the under on Washington's win total of 6.5. They were saying Washington's probably going to win 5 or 6 games this upcoming season. And, we keep saying it on this channel. How many wins Washington finishes with this upcoming season, it doesn't matter to me. All I want to see is Jaden Daniels be healthy. That's quite literally it. We compare him a lot on this channel to Anthony Richardson. These dudes, but here's the thing. Jaden Daniels had a phenomenal career in college outside of Anthony Richardson. Like, AR was one and done. Jaden Daniels just won the freaking Heisman, but he can also throw and he can also run. He was a phenomenal passer last year in an SEC school, 3,800 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, a handful of interceptions. He's a fifth-year starter. He's only 23 years old, but he also holds a Power 5 record with a career 1.6% turnover-worthy play rate per PFF. Jaden Daniels is going to succeed, but he needs a healthy, good, reliable offensive line, and he needs good, reliable wide receivers. And I'm not, once again, saying because I like the revamped offensive line for Washington, and I think a lot of the offensive line actually just comes down to coaching. But I do get a little bit worried thinking to myself, if Scary goes down for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, the offense is going to take a hit. And if you have the ability to get a rising star, an established star wide receiver in Brandon Aiyuk, because that's what he became last year, for a second and third round pick, you do that. But that's just me, and I'm a Packers fan. So I want to hear from you guys. I know this video was out of the box. It's Sunday night. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for more. But guys, let me know your thoughts on Brandon Aiyuk to Washington. Is there something here? Let me know. Peace. Thank you for watching.